Welcome to Old Man Sports Talk. I'm your host, Old Man Nate, and today we're talking nothing but football. The season just got kicked off last weekend with college football, and tonight the NFL is going to get started with the Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. You haven't heard yet. Yesterday or day before yesterday, one. Okay. Yesterday, Travis Kelsey got a bad injury on his knee. He got hurt. I don't know. I wasn't able to run around. My head cut off today with work, and now I'm trying to get straight for this show. I didn't get a chance to look to see if he is playing tonight, but I doubt he does play tonight. If Travis Kelsey don't play, Detroit wins the game. That's simple. That's simple. So the football team when Travis Kelsey does not play for the Kansas City Chiefs. Matter of fact, last year when Travis Kelsey didn't play, the Kansas City Chiefs offense ranked 28th in the league. 28th. But when he plays, it opens up their offense because everybody's keeping on him. Even receivers who didn't even, uh, you know, really wasn't able to find playing time on any of the rosters, was able to make some plays over Kansas City. So, I mean, Smith Schuster did, obviously, but for Pittsburgh. But yeah, other than that, he didn't know nobody. Appreciate everybody joining today. We got a couple of people already liking the. We only been on for 30 seconds, so appreciate everybody. So I know we start off there talking about NFL, but let's go back to college. Guess what? College kicked off last weekend. 5 days of college football. It doesn't get no better. Labor Day weekend is the best weekend of the year because you get 5 straight days of college football. Start off Thursday with Utah and Florida. Went exactly as I predicted. Florida is not enough. Florida cannot handle. Um, and what's before I even get into that, Utah didn't even have their starting quarterback. And that may have gave Florida some problems. They didn't prepare for him. You know what I'm saying? They prepared um, for I can't think of his name right now. His last name begins with R. I can't think of it. But they prepared for him. Even though he tore his ACL in the bowl game, he still thought he was going to be ready to go, and he just wasn't quite ready. I still actually haven't heard if he's playing this weekend. So if he is, let me know. Once you buzz in there, let me know if Utah quarterback is playing this weekend. But yeah, that was a great game. Utah went in, took care of the business like I said they would. Um, it's Friday, a couple good games. Didn't really watch. I didn't. Oh, Kansas. Kansas played Friday night, and I still don't know why Kansas Jalen Daniels didn't play. So if you know, please let me know. I didn't hear anything. Didn't hear anything. What's the best thing to watch football Sunday? Ticket to Michael Vogt, you asked a great question. So if drop I don't know if you can inbox me or not, but text me. My number is 405-568-7935. Send me a text message and I'll get you some TV. You get every NFL game for $20, $20 a month. All right, we'll get it. You won't have to worry about direct TV. I got you. All right, $20 a month. You gotta have a Fire Stick though. If you got a Fire Stick, text me. I got you hooked up. You'll be hooked up tonight. All right. So the yeah, Kansas. I don't know why Jalen Daniels didn't play. Kansas got off to a slow start, but they still end up blowing out. I think they played Missouri State. Should have blew them out to begin with. And then on Saturday, I had a handful of games. I got to go watch my Sooners play, so I didn't get to watch a lot of TV at home on Saturday, but I did watch some. If you've seen my top 25 for this week, you've seen some changes. And the Sooners jumped up. A lot of teams jumped up. Some teams dropped down. Of course, they lost. Beating teams that didn't lose, but still one dropped down. Ohio State dropped to my top 25. Now, I'm not talking about the media's top 25. So don't get on here and say, no, they didn't. Okay. They dropped to old man Nate's top 25. All right. USC dropped. No, I'm sorry. USC moved up. I apologize. Who else dropped? Ohio State, Texas. Those two teams dropped. Clemson, of course, dropped. And Clemson, Clemson dropped, of course, and LSU because those teams lost. Jumping in the top 25 was Colorado and Duke because they had big wins. But we'll see. I'm not on the Colorado bandwagon like everybody else is, though. I'm not. Because I even said before the season started, I had TCU picked to finish 8th in the Big 12. So to me, that was not an impressive win that Colorado had. It was impressive to me on how they did play. They were a lot better than I thought they were. Okay, so I'm giving them credit for that. But they still ain't got no defense. They're playing any team with an offense, they're in trouble. So everybody in the Pac-12 they're playing, they're in trouble, except for Stanford, Arizona State. Right. And they might get us a problem. Arizona State can score a little bit. We'll see how good they are this week. So Arizona State, Arizona, we'll see how good they are this week. They both got tough games. Arizona State is playing Oklahoma State. Arizona is playing Mississippi State. So, be good game, be tough. But yeah, everybody's saying that Colorado beat, the defending national champions or defending national runner-up last year, TCU. Well, no, they did. Yes, TCU played in the national championship game, but that's not the same team that played it. TCU lost a bunch of players on the offense and defense. TCU last year, about I think 18 or 19 of their starters last year, were 5th or 6th year players, and they're not there no more. So they have a lot of turnover this year. But yeah, so beating TCU is not a big deal. It's not that big of a deal. I know people had them ranked. They weren't ranked in Old Man Nate's top 25 last week. Kansas State's still not ranked in Old Man Nate's top 25. Although they're probably better than what I'm giving them credit for. But yeah, Colorado's win was not as impressive as people make it out to be. Even if they win this weekend, it's not that impressive. Nebraska, if they had a quarterback, it would be impressive. Nebraska's defense is really good. If Colorado can score 42 points on Nebraska, be impressive. They'll be lucky to score 21 on Nebraska. But Nebraska can't score 21 on Colorado. And the Colorado defense is horrible. Colorado defense is horrible. So, anyways, I do want to talk about those games that I am looking forward to this weekend. I'm finishing up the Saturday. Last week I said I watched the OU game. I'll go ahead and talk about the Sooners. I'm not going to over exaggerate like a lot of people are. They won 73-0. No, they're not. They haven't been tested. They have been tested. That's simple. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Nothing more, nothing less. But it is impressive they didn't do nothing less. Because if you look at a lot of other teams who were supposed to do the same thing the Sooners did, they didn't do it. Like Georgia. Georgia did not take care of business like they were supposed to. They was up 7-0 with 2 minutes to go in the half. That's embarrassing. If I'm a Georgia fan, I'm pissed off. Yeah, I know they won like 48-7 or something, but it shouldn't take a whole half to get going. Another team that didn't do what they should have done was Texas. The Longhorns offense did not look very good. Quentin Ewers did not look like Quentin Ewers tore up OU last year. So That worries me. You had a whole, 5 or 6 months to prepare. You um, you had all summer. You had fall camp, and you come out against a nobody, and you're struggling. I don't understand it. So that's one thing I give the Steelers credit for. They didn't do that. First possession, they got the ball first possession, five plays, touchdown. Defense hits the field, 3 and out. They punt the ball, or Arkansas State punt the ball, run it back for a touchdown. I mean, that's what's supposed to happen when you're playing an nobody. So, and at halftime, it was 45-0. At halftime, really before halftime, everybody except for the quarterback, you had second, third stringers playing. And after halftime, even the quarterback, second, third string, everybody played, fourth string. I think they had 89 players play on Saturday for OU. That's impressive. So, anyways, and then Sunday, I watched the Florida State LSU game. I had that one right too. Um, and then finished off the weekend with Duke and Clemson, and I had that one right too. So far, as I stated a couple nights ago, that if it wasn't for Texas, I'd have won $1,400 on a $10 parlay. I chose Texas. I took them to cover against Rice, 35 points, and they couldn't do it. So I picked 8 games, got 7 of them right. The only one I got wrong was Texas. So don't worry, I ain't betting on Texas no more. Should have known that to begin with, right? But anyways, so Florida State I was impressed with. They were down 3 at halftime. It was great, evenly matched first half. Second half though was all Florida State. LSU didn't score. LSU's offense was just Jalen Daniels running the ball, and that was it. So yeah, they struggled. Um, LSU will lose a couple more games if that's how their offense is going to be, because they got other teams that can score with them. Ole Miss, Alabama, Texas A&M, all those teams on the West can score with them. So they'll lose a couple more games. Then on Monday night, Duke and Clemson. Really, really impressed with Duke's defense. They held Clemson to 7 points. Now, granted, Clemson, you can say beat themselves because they drove down they had the ball inside the 10-yard line 3 times and got 0 points out of it. And then they had another missed block field goal. So 4 times inside the 20, 25 at least, and got 0 points out of it. So, and one of those turnovers, where you turn the ball over, fumble the ball, and that led to a Duke touchdown. So, because they picked it up and ran all the way back to the 30 and then went 30 yards for a touchdown. So, I was impressed with Duke's defense. Yeah, they bended, but they didn't break, and they're fast. So, yeah, very impressive. Clemson's offense, though, their quarterback, I'm not really there with him yet. He didn't. He looked a lot better last year than he did last week. But we'll see. See how he does. I mean, he should do a lot better this week. We're not playing anybody any good. So, yeah, great college start. Great start to the college football season last weekend. This weekend, so what games I'm looking forward to? Well, these rankings are not my rankings. These rankings are the AP rankings. Okay, so you got number 3 Alabama against number 11 Texas, and last week Alabama beat Middle Tennessee 56-7. Texas beat Rice. Like I said, they didn't cover. They only won 37-10. So I really In this game, I like Alabama. I said before the season started, I thought Texas would win. But last week, watching them play, they just no, they weren't hitting passes. You know, it's not about to me. It's not about game plan where they're holding back. You're missing wide open guys. Okay, so if you're not on the same page there, now you're going into a big house, going into a big game on Saturday night. You know, on I don't know what channel they're playing on, but yeah, Saturday night game. Going to be a rowdy crowd. I think that Texas is not ready, and that game right there could dictate Texas season. Because if they get crushed, like I think they will, it's just going to go downhill, and you're going to be looking at new coach next year. So next game, these are games that I'm really looking forward to this weekend. Okay, so the next game, Notre Dame versus North Carolina State. Notre Dame, Notre Dame is looking really good. They haven't played, they haven't had any competition yet. You could say this will be their first test, but they've done, like I said about the Sooners, they've done exactly what they were supposed to do. They haven't struggled. So Notre Dame beat Tennessee State 56-3. NC State played UConn and won by 10, 24-14. So I think Notre Dame rolls again this weekend. NC State is not the NC State they were last year, or maybe even the year before that. But you know, anything can happen on any given day. But I think Notre Dame rolls over North Carolina State this weekend. These next two games were these two teams. Two of these teams, the next two games are Pac-12 versus Big 12 matchups, and the Pac-12 looked good. The Big 12 did. These two teams disappointed the Big 12 this week. Baylor and Texas. Texas lost to Wyoming. Baylor lost to Texas State. Okay, that's embarrassing, man. Texas State is who Baylor lost to. Yeah, so Utah's going to go into Baylor. We said, all right, Utah beat Florida 24-11, and then Baylor lost to Texas State 42-31. So Baylor's Utah's defense is really good. Lost their starting quarterback. I didn't see how their backup played, but their starting quarterback's going to be out for a few weeks. So yeah, I got Baylor winning this one pretty easy. And the other Pac-12 Big 12 matchup, we got Oregon versus Texas Tech. Oregon rolled over Portland State, which they should, but they did it like they're supposed to. They won 81-7, and then Texas Tech was up 17-0 in the first quarter and ended up losing the game in double overtime, 35-33. So yeah, that was they disappointed the Big 12, and I think Oregon rolls over Texas Tech too. And both those teams starting off 0-2, yeah, you still have a chance to win your conference because they ain't played no conference games yet. But I really don't think they're going to be challenged anyway. Let me look over here real quick. What did I have? Okay, so I had Baylor finishing seventh in the Big 12 anyway, at 7-5 overall. But hey, I think I had them upsetting Utah. I don't see that at all. And then I had Texas Tech finishing fourth. Uh, both of them I had 5-4 in the conference, and Texas Tech 8-4. I don't think I had Texas Tech beating Oregon, but I had them beating Wyoming when I made my projections, and they didn't do that. So yeah, these are games to watch, but I really don't think that the Big 12 has both those games. Next game I got going on Oklahoma SMU. The reason I got this one is not because I'm a Sooner favorite, because you really get a chance to see what the Sooners can do this weekend. SMU defense is probably not going to slow the Sooners down, but we're going to get Oklahoma defense is going to get tested. as SMU can run and throw the ball. They ran for over 200 and they threw for over 200 yards last week in their win over Louisiana Tech, 38-14. So yeah, I think that I definitely think that the defense will be tested. I'm saying that if the Sooners can hold SMU to 17 points or less, then I'm ready for. I think we believe our defense. If they score, 24 or more, same on defense. Especially if we're giving up yards on the ground. I, we usually do pretty good run defense, and we did last week. There wasn't a runner that ran for more than 10 yards last week against Arkansas State. So yeah, it's Arkansas State. So they had like 10. I mean, sorry, about 8 different ball carriers, and none of them ran for more than 10 yards. So that's pretty good. The next game we're going to talk about is Wisconsin and Washington State. Yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a good game. Wisconsin last week beat Buffalo 38-17. Slow start in that game, but ended up pulling away. And then Washington State beat Colorado State 50-24. So yeah, both defenses will be challenged this weekend. We'll see where they're at. The offenses, I think Washington State. I'll be impressed if they can score. Washington State pull this out. I'll be impressed. That'd be another team to the Pac-12 list that is a deep conference already. The next game is Ole Miss and Tulane. Now, the only reason this is on my radar, the people are saying Tulane, has a shot, outside shot to make the playoff. Because they believe they can go undefeated. If they can win this game, they probably could. But Ole Miss offense. So last week they won 73-7. If you would have seen the numbers on that game, that was another game. They threw for 300, ran for another 200. They were just crazy. Their offense was crazy good. They played Mercer, so you really can't say, well, their defense is good too. We don't know. They didn't get tested, just like the Sooners didn't get tested. So Tulane, though, I thought they would have a much better game with South Alabama, but they ended up winning 37-17. They won by 20, so impressive win there. But they only threw like 14 passes, and when they did, and he threw like 14 passes and had 4 touchdowns. So when they did throw the ball, they were throwing, big plays, and that's not going to happen against Ole Miss. So I actually think Ole Miss wins this game pretty easily. I think Tulane's going to play a good defense. And I mean, it's only the same game, still. I think that we're going to play a good defense, and I think that Ole Miss wins the game pretty easy. Next one, Colorado and Nebraska. Everybody on the Dion train, and like I've already said, I'm not giving her. I'm putting them in my top 25. I'm not giving them the overhyped like everybody else is. Not doing that. But yeah, I think that. Somebody commented. So yeah, the Colorado. I think they win the game. I think Colorado wins the game. Nebraska should have beat Minnesota last week. Their defense did a good job to win the ball game. Their quarterback is horrible. Right, through 3 interceptions. I don't know who their backup quarterback is, but they better be looking at somebody. They did have they had Brock Purdy's little brother there. I don't know. They maybe wasn't going to him. Now, what about this though? Think about this. Casey Thompson transferred over to Florida Atlantic. He did. I don't know if it's a graduate transfer or a COVID transfer. He got his master's degree from Nebraska. He's transferring, going to get another master's degree over at Florida Atlantic. But he's if he would have stayed at Nebraska, they would have beaten Minnesota last week. He can throw the ball a lot better. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good quarterback. He started 3 different Division I schools and 2 Power 5 schools. He started at Texas, he started at Nebraska, and now he's at Florida Atlantic. He started over there last week. So, anyways, hate that Casey left Nebraska. I like Nebraska. Remember the games that they had with Oklahoma back in the day. I used to love those games. Of course, it wasn't better when we won. Still love it. And so I think Colorado wins this week, only because no, I don't think we'll score 42 points. I think we'll probably score like 21. But I don't think that Nebraska, as long as that, I think his last name is Sims, as long as Sims is their quarterback, unless they just go, he was their leading rusher too. He ran for 100 yards. He is a good runner. If they just go back to running, have him run the ball and not throw the ball, and yeah, I think they'll have a chance. Last game, Texas A&M against Miami. Yeah, that's going to be a good one. Texas A&M beat New Mexico 52-10. Miami beat Miami, Ohio 38-3. Both teams look impressive. This should be a good game. It's in Miami. I think Miami won in Texas A&M last year. I think Miami wins this year. They're the underdog, but I think it's at home. Offense look really good. Their defense looks really good. I think that they'll be good enough to beat the SEC team. By the way, SEC is 0-2 against the ACC so far. They ACC for Florida State beat LSU, and North Carolina beat South Carolina. So SEC needs to get one, and I don't think they will this week. It'll be 0-3 in 2 weeks. So not a good start for the almighty SEC. Yeah, those are the games. Those are the games that I'm looking forward to this week. Of course, we got our NFL games right now. We got Detroit at Kansas City, and Detroit's driving the ball. They're inside the 10. So I said it. If Kelsey doesn't play, then Detroit wins. But yeah, running back fell down. He looked like he was about to score and fell down. But Tampa Bay, Minnesota. I think this will be a good game. But I think Minnesota wins that game. Oh, by the way, this season is the new home of the quarterback. New home of the quarterback in the NFL. We got these are games. These are quarterbacks with new home this year. You got Baker Mayfield now at Tampa Bay. You got Bryce Young, rookie quarterback out of Alabama with Carolina. You got Richardson, rookie quarterback out of Florida. There you go. Detroit just got on the board. You got rookie quarterback Richardson out of Indianapolis, or from Florida, playing for Indianapolis. Yeah. Well, I know he was there last year, but Brock Purdy, it's his reign. It was starting this time last year. It was Trey Lance's team, and then he got hurt. That's the only reason Brock Purdy got a chance. He just did such a good job that they didn't give Trey Lance a chance this year. So I put Brock Purdy down because it's his team now. C.J. Stroud, rookie quarterback out of Ohio State, it's going to be at Houston. Jordan Love, been at Green Bay for 3 or 4 years, it seems like. I don't know for sure how long. And he's finally getting a chance as Aaron Rodgers is no longer in Green Bay. Jimmy Garoppolo got him a new team. He's no longer with the 49ers. He is now with the Las Vegas Raiders. And as I mentioned a while ago, he's no longer with the Green Bay Packers. We've got Aaron Rodgers. Found him a new team with the New York Jets. So this season is all about new quarterbacks, or same quarterback, new team, or teams with new quarterbacks, however you want to name it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see which team right off the bat will end up the best. I think really I like the Jets, man. I like what they did picking up Aaron Rodgers and they had the offense and defensive rookie of the year last year, and so their defense has been solid for a few years. They're back again, and now you guys add Aaron Rodgers along with that good wide receiver core. Watch out for the Jets this year. Watch out for the Jets, Jets. So back to the game this weekend. We got Tampa against Minnesota because I think Minnesota pulled that one out. Carolina against Atlanta. This is a game against terrible teams. Yeah, I said it, terrible teams. But I don't think Bryce Young is gonna be what Carolina thinks he's what or was hoping he's gonna be. So I'm going with Atlanta. Cincinnati versus Cleveland. I have just seen. It looks like Joe Burrow is going to play this weekend. Bad news for the Cleveland Browns. So if Joe Burrow playing, Joe Burrow going to borrow him. That's right. Joe Burrow going to borrow him. I got Cincinnati over Cleveland. Jacksonville against Indianapolis. Jacksonville made the playoffs this year, and they're going to have a chance to make it again this year. I've got Jacksonville over Indianapolis. Indianapolis really, they're going to be fighting with Arizona for the worst record this season. And I think Arizona wants that. I mean, they did get rid of DeAndre Hopkins. They did, they put Kyler Murray, who probably could play. They put him on the pup list. He's out at least 4 weeks. They're trying to lose the first 4 games. They cut their backup quarterback, Colt McCoy, and they brought in somebody who to play quarterback who I really don't think is an NFL quarterback. But in a tank, that's what you do. So, and Indianapolis, I know they got what they think is a franchise quarterback. They're going to find out this year that guy is horrible. Richardson couldn't even play college ball, and now you want to play an NFL? This kid can throw a ball a long way, 75 yards. He's not going to throw accurate pass like he in the NFL. Sorry, he's not going to do it. So Indianapolis will be looking for they may not be tanking. They may be that bad. So Tennessee, New Orleans. This would be a really good game, actually. Tennessee going to try and run the ball, ground and pound. New Orleans with Derek Carr now out without Kamara. First, how many games he gets suspended? 2 or 3, maybe 4 games. I don't remember. But yeah, he's suspended for this game for sure. It'll be interesting. It'll be a good game. I'm not picking a winner in that one. Yeah, is that New Orleans? Maybe New Orleans. I don't know. San Fran and Pittsburgh. San Fran just signed. I can't think of his name. Finally got it signed to contract. So yeah, I can't think of his name. One of them brothers, Bosa. He's signed to a contract. So yeah, he will. I got San Francisco in that game. Pittsburgh I think will be better than we were last year. I think they will, but they're in a tough division. So I'm not saying that win. I mean, yeah, they'll probably still be the 3rd best team in the division, but they'll be playing for the playoffs. They'll be trying to get in that playoffs. Arizona against Washington. I just mentioned that Arizona is going to be tanking this year. So I got Washington in this game. Washington's not going to be too bad either. They're not going to be too bad. They got some players. So yeah, Houston against Baltimore. This is not going to be a close game. Baltimore is they're going to beat the crap out of Houston. C.J. Stroud is going to wish he would have stayed in college. He's going to get beat up so bad this Sunday. Yeah, Baltimore over Houston. Green Bay versus Chicago. This is going to be a very interesting game. First game for Jordan Love as starter, or his team now, put it that way, and going against Justin Fields, who fantasy-wise is a great quarterback. Um, they didn't have a great record last year, but I think they're going to be better this year. They picked up some receivers off season, so it'll be interesting. I don't know how. I'm picking a winner because I'm not sure how Jordan Love can do. I don't know. I haven't seen him. Everybody anticipated him to go out there and do great things, be the next Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre, but don't know. So we'll see. Las Vegas versus Denver. New quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, Russell Wilson, Denver. Um, this is another one I don't know because Russell Wilson last year disappointed me so much in my fantasy football league that I feel like he cost me a lot. He cost me the season last year. I really do. Had him in two leagues. Started off horrible because of him. I don't have him on my starter. I do have him on my bench though, only because for my bye week I went and drafted him. Because if he starts out having a good year, then I've got my backup. But if he doesn't, then I can get rid of him and pick up somebody else. So, yeah, very interesting game. I don't know. I don't have an idea on this one either. If I was to pick one or the other right now, I pick Vegas simply because I like Jimmy Garoppolo when I do Russell Wilson. Philadelphia versus New England. This will be a close game. However, it's only because Philadelphia just likes to play around with teams instead of putting them throwing on people. So Philadelphia will win the game. Miami versus the Chargers. This should be an easy game for the Chargers, although Tua, when healthy, is a good quarterback, and Miami plays really well. But Justin Herbert is a beast at quarterback. They're loaded on offense. Defense, can be better, but when you're playing against great quarterbacks like Tua or Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, you're gonna get beat up. So I think though that it'll be a good game. I'm gonna pick the Chargers in this one. The Rams versus Seattle. Which team we're gonna get? We're gonna get the Super Bowl champions from 2 years ago, Rams, or we're gonna get the team that sucked last year, Rams. So um, yeah, I mean they don't have quite the offensive power they had a couple years ago, but they still do have Cooper Kupp there. They still have Matthew Stafford. They do got some running backs that can run. So, but Geno Smith had a great year last year. Really, really haven't heard nothing about him in the offseason or anything. So I'm guessing I'm just going to pick Seattle. The game playing in Seattle, so I'm going to go with Seattle. In the last two games, we got the New York team, Dallas against the Giants, and I think the Giants are going to be better. I really do. So I'm picking the Giants. I think Dallas is the third best team in the AFC East, or NFC East, I'm sorry. I do. I think that Philadelphia is one, New York's two, and then Dallas is three, and Washington is not far behind. Could actually be better than Dallas. So, and then the finish off the weekend, we got Buffalo at the Jets. That was going to be an outstanding game, maybe the game of the week. Buffalo, who's been the second best team in the AFC for the last 4 or 5 years, just can't quite get past the Chiefs. Now they just, all of a sudden now they got to look over the shoulder at the Jets because Aaron Rodgers is there, and that has been their problem. They did not have a quarterback that was good enough to get them over the hump. So I think it's going to be very interesting this year with the Jets. I'm not picking the Jets to win this first game. I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be close, but we'll see. I think that I really think that I'd like to see Aaron Rodgers and the Jets do good. I got a buddy who's a Jets fan. I know he's hoping that the Jets can win some games. make a Super Bowl, of course, but we'll see about that. But I think it'll be a good game. Great week one NFL games. I love the weekend capper off with Buffalo and the Jets. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hey, well, listen, I appreciate everybody for watching. And if you watch the show, please leave some comments. Um, at this time, if you haven't already, please take the time to go to um, oldmancoffee.shop and get you some coffee. We got 47 different flavors of coffee. You can get you some coffee there. You can get you a tumbler, got tumblers to drink the coffee in, and we got the t-shirt, okay? Support Old Man Nate with some t-shirt, buying t-shirts or some tumblers or some coffee. Also, you can you can like, subscribe, and ring the bell. That way you get notified every time Old Man Nate drops a video or goes live. We will be live every Thursday at 26 Lounge in Oklahoma City. And the address to that is 9622 North May. Next Thursday, come out and check out Old Man Nate. Get you a cocktail, get you some food, and listen to Old Man Nate talk some football. I appreciate everybody who likes, subscribe, and watching, and we'll see you next time on Old Man Nate, Old Man Sports Talk.